Welcome to the Innovation World Young Collaborators Podcast series. My name is Maxwell. I'm 11 and I live in Ohio. I, I go to Freedom Trail Elementary, and this is a very special guest in honors of Veteran Day. I have with me Chuck. Well, tell me a bit about yourself. What is your rank? What job did you do, and what job do you do now?
Absolutely, Max. Thanks for having me. So, I spent 10 years in the Army and I actually had two different jobs. The first 4 years, I was infantry, which is responsible for making first contact with any type of enemy force. And then the last 6 years, I was civil affairs, which is a civilian military crossover. We were responsible for making sure that the civilians in our areas that we operated in were taken care of. I reached a rank of E6. And when I got out in '03, I traveled around the country and I landed here in Central Florida.
Very cool. Thank you for your service.
Thank
Um,
you.
would you tell me a little bit more about what you do now that you're not in the military?
Sure. I'm still involved with veterans, Max. I work for Veterans Intellectual Property. And what we do is we help veterans protect their ideas through trademarks, copyrights, and patents.
Cool. Um, what would you tell someone that wanted to go into the military?
Max, if somebody wanted to join the military, I would tell them to feel free to make that commitment or feel free not to. It was a lot of fun for me while I was in. And then when it stopped being fun, I wanted to get out and was able to do so. So just make sure that if someone listening is going to join the military, do as much research as they can. Make sure they're going to be doing the job that they would enjoy doing if they were not in the military, so that can carry over once they get out.
What would you tell someone going into the same job or jobs in your case that you had in the military?
I would tell someone going into infantry to make sure you stay in shape and get to know your buddies. And if somebody was going into civil affairs, I would urge them to learn as many languages as they could, because that will definitely help them on the ground.
Those are some very cool things.
Thank you.
Those seem like very good things to tell someone when they were first going to the military or in your job. Um, what do you miss about being in the army?
I miss the camaraderie. I miss the buddies that I made and how we all had a common mission, which brings people together even more. So I miss that.
Yeah. What are some misconceptions about the military?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions, Max, is that someone who joins the military is simply somebody who wants to follow orders. And the military has a very good structure on how to be a free thinker and think for yourself and to make good decisions within that framework. It's not all waiting for an order, then executing that order, and then waiting for the next order. There's a lot of opportunities to have input and to create your personal mark on your unit within the Army.
Is there anything else you'd want to say about the military?
Oh, with tomorrow being Veterans Day, today when you air this, I would just want everybody to make sure to reach out to a veteran that they know and thank them for their service. That's part of one of the things that will help make connections. And as you probably already know, there's a lot of stories about how veterans deal with different types of stresses, and so making the connection is the first step to helping veterans feel at home.
Well, thank you for your service. I'm so glad to have had you on the podcast.
Thanks
Um,
so much, Max.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all veterans and active duty military personnel. A happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Thanks for listening to the Innovation World Young Collaborators Podcast series. Find more of our podcasts at innovationworld.org. Bye.
Bye, Max. Thank you.